message after the tone.
You have reached the former random hotline. Sorry, we missed your call.
Sorry we missed your call.
Switched on Bach.
Hello. Missy will be here shortly, we hope.
Yes,
But if not, it's just me and Phony.
Yes, we're celebrating Missy's birthday with this episode all about synthesizers.
But no Missy. That's the trick. We're celebrating Missy's birthday, but no Missy. That's
we're celebrating Missy in absentia.
Yeah. Don't you miss Missy? So let's start off. We mentioned Wendy Carlos last week. That's kind of how this topic came up. And then you look at all those synths back there. And then, of course, we've got Bach. That's him. And then, I'm going to show all my reaches that I don't have, or at least I do have. I couldn't find the vinyl for Clockwork Orange, which of course is also some more Wendy Carlos. But I do have Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon, the movie where The Simpsons included it in a Kubrick homage and had the lampshade of even I forget what this is from.
Yeah, I was just double checking. No, there's no way there's any Wendy Carlos on this one. Of course, Wendy Carlos also in the Shining. Also did the Shining music.
Yes. Also did Tron.
Well, yes, and of course, other stuff. Tron. Oh my God, there's so many other ones, but I guess those are the big ones.
Well, the Peter and the Wolf with Weird Al, which is
Peter the Wolf with Weird Al, of course. That's how we got on this topic. Boy.
Almost. It's almost like that. Yeah, I'm looking at the list for Wendy Carlos's work, and those do seem to be the big film.
Let's see here.
Oh, did the main title for Ready Player One? Oh, it's because the Tron, right?
Yeah, everyone wrote for that movie.
That's true. I wrote for that movie, and I'm a film. Oh, was on an episode of Nova, the PBS. Was on the episode. What is music?
What is music?
That's a great question. What do you think music is?
Oh, that's a whole other week. We just got to figure out what synth is. Is synth? Synth is music, but is synth music? I mean, people would have asked that question at one point.
There's definitely a time where that would have been more of a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my handset was used to play drums when I was a younger phone, and that was always a big hot topic, is the drum machine and its impact on music.
Yeah.
Music is happy math. Ooh.
Just reading the Wendy Carlos Wikipedia now. But also I'll probably want to wait till Missy's here before we really get into some of the stuff. I guess I have a CD somewhere. I have a CD of a really cool album of Wendy Carlos, which is called Beauty in the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
And, hello. I was too busy looking at the Wikipedia to realize I'm missing the chat. make sure. Okay, I caught up on the chat. That's about it. But Beauty and the Beast is a cool thing, because basically Wendy Carlos was like, well, first of all, for this album here, for this one, the way that she did it is she had to, digitally figure out each and every note that you could need for it, and then that was how it, using that Moog over there, that then, is able to replicate the music. And Wendy thought, well, there's infinite combinations. Why limit ourselves to the diatonic, 12-note system, when you could do any note? It doesn't have to be the ones on a equal tempered keyboard or piano. And so for Beauty and the Beast, they have like some perfect intervals, like perfect fifths, and then some what are called wolf perfect fifths, where they I'll get into that more details later, but basically so she utilizes these different types of intervals, so one that are kind of perfect and one that are imperfect, to show the difference between like the Beast, who is like the imperfect ones, and then Beauty, which is the perfect ones, and then like she contrasts them together, and it just sounds really cool. It's really cool music stuff.
There's a quote on the liner notes that highlight how all the album is synthesized, because all the music and sounds heard on the recording were digitally generated, and how that eliminates the limitations of microphones, including which are the weak link in nearly all digital recordings. Which is interesting. And it's interesting that in '86 that was like so key that it had to be referenced in the liner notes.
Mm-hmm.
And Potatoes and Molasses brings up a good point. I remember that there was a school assembly about music, and they asked who invented music, and I raised my hand in kindergarten at the time and said humans did when they were happy. And they said, no, it was the birds.
Oh, of course.
And would you agree that birds invented music? Or because that feels like a pretty complex notion, because birds wouldn't conceptualize it as music necessarily.
No, I would say birds did not compose music.
Yeah.
I would say then you could say like black holes invented music.
Well, or it just like the wind invented music.
Yeah,
one time it hit something. Oh, it's a philosophical minefield, but I'm steering right into it.
Well, of course, then there's a question of what's music versus what is noise.
Oh, that is its own whole. Speaking of philosophical minefields, now that's a big one.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. We should be able to hear.
Nope.
Nope. Damn it. Okay.
Oh.
We'll get it figured out.
Moogie.
Try
Moogie
again.
information.
I would. No.
It's all good. Okay. I'll mess around with my settings. It's just probably what I'm inputting it to.
Probably. That's usually the culprit. And everyone's saying, happy birthday, Moogie.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Missy. Happy birthday, Missy. Whenever you get here, says Lena316.
Oh, well, I'm here now.
Oh, Lena, congrats on your shirt.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And of course, hey, we're hearing stuff.
There we go.
Of course, last night was a phenomenal Life Day celebration. and I thought was funny is that Lena bid on that shirt, and everyone, at least me and other people in the chat, were kind of like, "No, Lena should get that shirt." it's like, oh, because he could have got more money if people weren't like, "No, that shirt should go to Lena." So there's no reason over that one.
Hey, there was enough stuff that sold, and we raised enough money so that Jersey Dave didn't kill himself.
Which I think is great. I'm glad that that was where everyone came to, is let's not make Jersey Dave throw himself down the stairs.
Yeah, I was like, do they think he's really gonna throw himself down the stairs? Like, I don't think he's gonna like do it in a way that hurt himself.
No, but I think he would have thrown himself down the stairs.
He would have tried. That's probably true.
Because they seemed to be taking it deathly seriously. It's a threat.
I didn't let the cat through because no one else is. 1 sec.
And I think if only there was a synthesizer equivalent for throwing yourself down the stairs, so they could have done it without the limitations of a camera.
This is what it would have sounded like at the end.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah, you do. Is that too loud? Because I've turned it halfway volume on my pad, so I can yank that down if I need be.
Let's. Can we hear it again? I think you're good for now. Yeah.
Thank you for the happy birthdays. I'm gonna get an instrument set up that's not a drum pad, which is just what turned on when it started. So yay!
Oh, you should keep it as drum pad.
I mean, we'll do some drum pads eventually, but I'm messing around with this bit, so I have to remember what all the inputs are.
So is this your first synthesizer? Is it?
I've had a keyboard. I have not had this. Growing up, I had the keyboard I had was able to work with like Windows 2000 or Windows XP, and I had a program that I was able to do like simple MIDI stuff with. So I messed around with that back in the day, but the tech wasn't quite as precise, and I'm not a very precise piano player, so I just got really frustrated with it because there's a lot of live to tape stuff, and it's just like, oh, this is hard to do and not mess up. But I was able to do like some stuff with it, and now Fruity Loops is able to help me a little bit now. I'm going to show that off in a second here if I can find the window to share.
Fruity Loops. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Long
time.
It's the program that seemed best for what I do. This is what I was.
I mean, I think it's a great program. I don't think that's a mark on the program as much as how much I've been a phone that hasn't been in the musical world.
That's true. So I'm going to pull up our fun little synth here. Yeah, that's that nice sinewy sounds that people love to hear. Okay, so this is what's fun. I know that these are the different ways that you're making the wave on the file. Mm-hmm. It's allowing what sounds go through like the different gate and everything like that. But I don't know how it works. I don't know how. Like how? Blog, maybe you have some insight as to how.
You just change the shape of the wave.
Yeah,
that's true.
Manipulate the wave.
Well, essentially, because there is the argument that you can never, that synthetically, you can never create as real of a sound or as pure a sound as you hear in nature, because your eardrums have like probably millions or billions of like points and receptors. But when you take a wave, basically, if you just have the crest and the trout, no, down here, the base and like the crest, if you just have those 2 points, then you're creating triangles.
You talking cochlea?
Yeah, I was talking cochlea. Yeah, but when you have a sound wave, so like a triangle wave, it just has the bottom, the top, and then the bottom again. So it's triangle waves, and then like Square wave just has the points where it's, you know,
The human cochlea has about 3,500 inner hair cells and 12,000 outer hair cells.
I think it might be cochlea, because I think isn't that the implants, cochlea implants?
Oh, it's cochlea. I'm sure it's
Yep.
cochlea, not cochlea, like I said. But
I've had some cochlea, I can tell you that much. Too bad Leah's
Yeah.
not around to say anything.
So a regular sine wave at the top, that's just, you know, generally waves, that's what they form. And then, you know, there's a lot of them. So you see a lot of them all at once and they mix with each other and that's how they get their shapes. But, you know, with primitive digital technology, when they were trying to replicate that, they initially, you know, didn't have a lot of points. So they came up with they were able to produce sounds doing, basically with less data. This is what happens when you have less data to create sine waves. But then essentially, you know, the argument is mute because with technology now and recordings, you know, they can essentially be as, you know, clear as a normal sound would be. But, you know.
Well, and we can like try that out for ourselves, because we can start with a sine wave pattern on here and can see it's an organy wave. that we got
Yeah.
here we can do the square wave. The sawtooth, or no, this is not the sawtooth. This was which one? I'm teaching myself here. That's just a straight up triangle one. Okay, cool. And then here's our sawtooth one. Wow, real soft. But
Also,
again,
also when a note first starts, that impacts that creates the timbre for it.
mm-hmm.
And then with synth sounds, they just kind of they started off at least just having post attack, and then they kind of realized that attack shapes timbre, and then that's how you get synth to sound more like a clarinet or to sound more like a cello, you know.
Mm-hmm. Like they have the bass moog on here, so that's what a lot of the sound that people would have been producing on one of their moogs.
Did we get attacked?
There was an ad that suppressed your explanation of what an attack is. And if you don't want to see those ads, you should subscribe right here.
Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. So I thought that Emily was saying that they got an ad, and then that the ad involved some sort of attack.
Oh, no. The only attack is the attack on your taste buds that comes from nice, refreshing Mountain Dew.
I love Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew is the best. I already drank mine today.
Mountain Dew Zero Sugar definitely didn't make us feel aggressively hot and like higher temperature and made us sweat uncomfortably when we last drank it.
Because of course, phones can't drink. So
no, I just short it out.
So yeah, I've been noodling. This is what I was working on last night. You can hear an example of this, some of the stuff you can do. I don't know if this is good or not. This is literally just what I was in the middle of working on.
Oh, so sorry. Oh yeah.
I'll turn it down. I gotta do that.
I was just gonna tell Emily. So when a note happens and there's an attack, and then the waves kind of come from it. So that attack though kind of creates timbre, and that's what creates my sound color. That's why different instruments have different sounds, even though they're the same pitches.
I ended up using a lot of different sharps within this. It was weird, not what I did. The name of this piece is I Am Not a Crook. No clues as to whose vocal drops might appear in it. But I have no melody for it yet. This is just the bass line and like some synth on the background, but that's just the kind of stuff that you can learn and canoe. Like I'm just having so much fucking fun, like taking the if you see on the side here has the different options for what you can do for instruments. So I have just been taking their
Oh.
suggestions in terms of like a kick, two snares, a hi hat, and a crash, and then just adding stuff in there. And like anything, it's really cool because you know, the ability to mute. So each of these is like is its own channel. So each of them is telling each channel different digital information to produce notes. If I go in and look at one of these patterns, I have just told it specifically how long and which notes to do, and have just repeated those patterns throughout as necessary. And I use like to kind of listen and play stuff out. And you'll notice it actually can show you what you're playing on there, so you know what you're doing. This synthesizer is essentially just being a giant controller keyboard. Like it is literally just telling the computer like, do that, do that, do that. And that then gets into obviously the processor and all that fun nonsense to create this. I still don't like, it's just still fascinating to me, like that we have sound down to enough of a science that we can just be like, yeah, we know how all this stuff works. And it's just like, it's not guesswork anymore. But it's nice, like if you just want to go in and like just mess with like a drum beat, you can do that like this and listening to it later and everything. But yeah, it's just fun like messing around, and especially messing with the internal synthesizer because this this has multiple plugins for different type of synth like programs that you can use. So like that one was just one called SimSynth. Oh my god, I gotta do, because it's not giving me instrument. Because this one gave me track one. Oh, there it is. I was looking in within place. So there's different stuff. There's entire drum pads that are in here, miscellaneous ones that are for ones I haven't even like explored yet. But the different types. So like we have one here called Mini Synth. It's its own little plug-in machine, so it has its stuff. You can do it. You can same stuff you're telling it, like saw and square and things like that. You can adjust your modifier. Transpose it, which is just changing the pitch by semitones. So basically, half steps and full steps in terms of notes and stuff like that. That's all that it's doing on there, which is really neat. Go back. It's hard to control with a little mouse part on it.
I actually probably should have thought about this beforehand, but I did back in college. Why is the TV on? I did. I originally went to school for music composition.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do a lot of it, but for one semester, we were tasked to create a digital electronic piece using so we had a room full of different synthesizers just used to create different sounds, and I took sound clips.
Sorry, I was messing around.
I took sound from one of my obsessions at the time, which was The Prisoner, the 1960s.
Oh yes,
with Patrick McGowan. So yeah, at some point tonight, everyone, we can listen to that.
I would love to. I'll show off the drum pad too. So I was like, drum pad. I wonder what options are available. Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no! It's too much. It's even cutting it off. Oh god! Oh, there's so many. If you want tom-toms, you can get acoustic. You can get it to sound like electronic, lo-fi, vintage. Like, I haven't explored like.
Oh wow!
I haven't explored even like a tenth of all of these. The ones I did explore, cowbell. That's a quieter one. We can give it a.
Now that's the sound I think of as a cowbell.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 different types, all just little chains in it. Do you want to clap? Oh, that's really quiet. Never mind. That was not as fun as I thought it would be. Bells. Sure, why not? If you're gonna make a copy of Ring My Bell, the disco hit and everything like that. But so it's really interesting, just all the different sounds they're able to emulate, as you were talking about, Blog, where we have gotten down to like, you can have something that sounds like I want to do a basically it's like a vintage kick. Sounds like a pretty standard kick. And we can just click it to a electro kick.
Oh.
We're starting a Bass Hunter song soon. Or a Skrillex.
I don't care. I love it.
Yeah. I love it. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so I mean, it's just like stuff you can do on a keyboard, but obviously now the permutations that we have eclipsed, my Yamaha keyboard that had 100 different instruments, and then one thing for percussion, which has had the instruments lined out on the keypad in little pictorials, so you can just go boop, 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 boop.
Wow, so hopefully that works. I just assuming it worked. I was like, oh, this is probably going to be too large a file for me to send to you of my audio composition, and it's 3.83 megabytes.
Hey.
Not a large file at all. It was
But
made,
at the time,
it was made let's see, like 15, no more than that, like 18 years ago. Yeah, 18 years ago.
So here it is. Here's
Here
your
it is.
composition.
Where am I? In the village. What do you want? Information. Whose side are you on? That would be telling. We
So-
want information.
So if you don't know anything about The Prisoner, hopefully this helps.
Information. You won't get
Before
it.
this, all I've known about The Prisoner is that Simpsons episode where Homer
That's
goes
true,
on
and that
the
is
island.
how when I first was introduced to it, I was like,
Who are
"Oh,
you?
this is the thing with The Prisoners."
The new
Also,
number.
as I mentioned on here, that's how
Who is
that's
number
my
one?
experience when I first watched Clockwork Orange. I was like, "Oh, I know that from The Simpsons."
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely think I first saw a clip of The
I am
Prisoner
not a
from
number.
QI.
I am a free man.
That makes sense too.
Oh, so you can hear. So basically, I was just playing around with synths, and then also playing around with sound effects in programming. So you got a mixture of stuff that were analog
Why did he resign?
created and digital synth created.
That was also an experience I had with Doctor Who. When I first saw the Fourth Doctor, it was like, that's that guy who's had a lot of cameos on The Simpsons, but no lines.
Debrief. Or numbered.
Ah, yes. I was like, when was he on the Simpsons? But he's
Indexed.
never.
My life is my
Oh.
own.
Ooh, that's all like the bass synth up there.
But I don't run on clockwork. You will, my dear chap. You will.
Unlike me, many of you have accepted the situation of your imprisonment and will die here like rotten cabbage.
Because of course Patrick McGowan did show up.
This
Oh,
committed to you.
That's true.
This is
Yeah,
how
in
they
that case,
started
it was
to break
actually
you before
him.
you gave them what they were after.
Sorry, I had a smoke monster I had to deal with.
I intend to discover who are the prisoners and who the warders.
I remember when
Whoa.
this was premiered, my roommate was like, "That
I
made me
went
want to
to
watch
that.
the show." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Let me escape, come
I
back,
don't think we watched it though.
wipe this place off the face of the
Made
earth,
him want to watch
obliterate
it.
I mean, that's a
You-
start.
But also, actually, now I think about it, the prisoner. This really got off track, but the prisoner and Doctor Who. Actually, it's a little bit on track. Doctor Who were both had music by Ron Grainer. He did the music for both programs,
Oh, interesting.
and also, of course, incorporated a lot of synths in those soundtracks.
What's your number?
I will
Oh,
find
that's
it.
true.
is an amazing synth breakdown video done by the BBC at the time of how the Doctor Who theme is made that would match perfectly with our sort of tunes. I'm
Perfect.
13, 14, 15, 16.
And then it was interesting for me then now, very recently, finally watching Doctor Who and being like, oh wow, this iconic Doctor Who music was written before The Prisoner. And then you've got like that 1 year of The Prisoner and then back to Who for the next 5 decades.
I'll die.
And Wiz wishing Missy a happy birthday.
Thank you.
I feel like
Now's the day I can make a big deal about it.
I feel like if anyone, Wizworld, I think that you are on board for a lot of this stuff. Ooh, and the Acme Sax.
Yeah, we're layering it all together right now.
Even better. You know, if I could go back in time and update my composition, I'd add some Yakety Sax to it.
I wish I
And I think it's over.
That was the end, yeah.
And then also, Wizworld Live. I feel like if anyone here has watched The Prisoner, obviously in addition to me, I'd imagine it's you. Have you watched The Prisoner? Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All good stuff. Right, we talked about that. Is yes. I was like, I think I was 16 when I first watched it. I watched it because it was rerun on PBS for the first time in who knows how many years, and I watched it then. And even then, I was like, "Oh, this is the thing from The Simpsons." That may have been only after there was one episode that referenced it. That might have been before the one where it actually had Patrick McGowan on.
Jesus Christ. The notes from the Doctor Who theme opening go so high, it's above the bar, and I'm like, I can't fucking convert that in my head. Like, I can do everything on it, but like, Cheesy Pete's, it starts on a B, and then almost goes up like an octave. That's close. But we
And
don't
this
have
is
to
that
do
original version, the simplified, like stripped down version, or the current version.
So it's
Okay.
it's a little low key.
Yeah.
I sent you the video in the private chat.
Oh,
Phony.
you did?
Yes. You just sometimes have more success, and since I have the synth on in the background, I didn't want to have to try and like uncast it, recast it.
So Missy, I think you missed. I know I showed this one already because I sort of at the top is I've got this one here.
Yes, hell yes. I have
And
listened
then,
to that
then
numerous times.
And I don't have either Clockwork Orange or The Shining, which has music by Wendy Carlos, but I do have Barry Lyndon.
Hell yeah.
Oh, but you've gotten Barry Lyndon filled recently, right?
Yes. Was it this year or last year? I got Barry Lyndon pilled.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fucking great.
It's great.
It's just like if Amadeus focused on how much of a scoundrel Amadeus was, even though like he was kind of normal. But yeah, it just was the settings, the costuming, the locations, the pacing of it all. It was just slice of life of an old English bastard.
It might be early for this, but I think next week Barry versus Lyndon.
Oh my god. Okay. I don't know if it's too early to call it.
That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go back to ones that have Wendy Carlos in it. And we were talking about. I don't know if you did that homework I asked you to do, which I did no homework, so don't feel bad if you didn't. But I briefly talked about Beauty in the Beast.
I can't find it.
It's hard to find.
I looked everywhere to try and find
yeah.
it. I did, and it just was. It's taken down. A lot of Wendy Carlos's music is not on YouTube.
Yeah, Wendy
It's
Carlos
so hard
is.
to find
Yeah.
Wendy Carlos stuff that there's a note on Wendy Carlos's Wikipedia page about how hard it is to find Wendy Carlos's stuff because
Wow.
her stuff is just hard to find.
I have. Let's see how successful this is. But there might be a Tumblr that uploaded a bunch of these.
I wonder what that Tumblr's URL could possibly
I
be.
don't know.
I just want to point out that this sound is called fat ass.
Uh,
The sound of me when I wake up in the morning.
Boy, if you forget the .com in there, you miss it.
That's so true.
Because I don't know how many other people. I know there is a good amount, but how many other people really use Tumblr very, very, very much a lot in those years where Tumblr was very, very good
I
and
was
very
into
fun.
Doctor Who Tumblr at the time.
And that's how I came up with, well, not this name. I put a fake name here. But my other
Yes,
fake
it's
name.
Your real name, Blonde.
Yeah, my real fake name was what I came up with for my Tumblr, and I very much made sure I tagged things easily so I can find them again. So
I
if
missed
you
out on TCGS Tumblr.
what's that?
Wiz was saying I looked at TCGS Tumblrs, and I'm bummed that I missed out on that era.
I wish I was into it then too. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna put it in the private chat, and then I'm gonna put it in the regular chat
That was
because
a 2013 era chat rat, so a little after the Tumblr stuff, maybe.
But I'm just saying, anyone, if you're looking, oh, actually, I didn't even check to see if any of these actually still play, because that's also kind of the problem with Tumblr. Some of the older stuff doesn't play anymore.
I did find one of them. I did see some of the gifs that people made.
Gath gifs.
Yeah, the Chris GIF show. I'm getting no URL not found.
Oh, with the one I sent you?
Yeah. Oh, I see. It's adding a bunch of extra text for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, now it worked. You just may want to copy and paste it rather than directly clicking it.
Interesting.
So it was 6 years ago that you got Barry
That's
Lyndon
when-
and Switched on Bach.
Yep, I got these in one go. Basically, Valerie got me that record player, which you can see behind it, and those were some of the records. I was like, well, now I have to get some records. Sign up for Tumblr?
I'm just not logged in. I'm Radio Free Multiverse is signed up for Tumblr. In fact, if you go to radiofreemultiverse.tumblr.com, you'll find a site that looks suspiciously like radiofreemultiverse.com.
Interesting.
Almost like the whole thing is run on a Tumblr.
Yeah, so I mean, Wendy wouldn't be happy, but do you want to try to see if any of those ones with Beauty and the Beast will play? So that's a Switch on Bach one.
Switched on Bach. Where is Beauty?
But some of the
and
upper ones, there's one towards the top I saw already.
Here we
So
go.
these are Beauty and the Beast, because these are tracks. Oh no, not this one. Interestingly enough, but some of them were ones that. Ooh.
One day, I'll make something half this amazing and demented. I recently discovered the art piece Turtle Dreams, which is. I think
Turtle
you would love
Dreams?
blog. Turtle Dreams, I think you would love blog, and everyone else would fucking hate. But I have a new game called How Long Can You Last Turtle Dreams? My roommate and husband noped out, I think, within a minute. It's a tonal piece where it's like a lot about vocal stuff, and like very monotonous chords. This is really great.
Yeah. So
What did you say was the goal of? You said there was like a statement about
Yes,
what this piece
so-
was trying to do.
and again, I probably should have. Oh no, I probably should have looked into it more. Again,
Why? Oh no! What did you?
oh, the music stopped.
Oh, okay.
I was enjoying that. There we go.
Can you turn it down ever so slightly?
Nope.
There we
Nope.
go.
Let me see. I'll look into it. There's not an
Interesting.
audio slider on the Tumblr.
What is Kallax?
Did that help? Is it quieter now for you?
Nah, but it's fine. I'm
Well,
used to
here's
it.
another track. So yeah, so some of these are posted because I bought the CD and I posted the different tracks to Tumblr. And I didn't realize at the time that was going to make it one of the only ways to possibly listen to this music 13 years later.
You did essential archival work, blog.
But here's from the liner notes of a different track from the titular track.
That's
Beautiful.
true.
Which says the title cut of the album. Oh no, am I missing something?
It also seems like something Calyx might have used to describe themselves in an
Yeah.
ad for the station.
So the title
You're
cut
the
of the album.
polyphony.
Polyphony.
This compact piece whimsically blends two quasi-grotesque ideas with a romantic theme in best ballet russe style. The new scales used for all of this are quite odd. The first heard, called beta, splits the perfect fourth into two equal parts,
Ooh.
equally 8 equal steps of nearly 64 cents each. The second, alpha, does the same to the minor third, 4 equal steps for 78 cents each. While both scales have nearly perfect triads, two remarkable coincidences, neither can build a standard diatonic scale, and so the melodic motion is strange and exotic. The two forces, beast and beauty, shift back and forth, and things are never quite what they seem.
AKA, I made some music and it's pretty dang good
No.
because it doesn't sound like what you'd expect.
Yeah, so basically, Wendy Carlos was like already had to painstakingly figure out exactly how to get the exact pitches she wanted. Was then after she did that was like, well, why do we have to make it those pitches? We can make them any pitches. We have infinite options to choose from one point to another.
She conquered normie music and said, no, I need to go further. Like, we have not reached the full extent of my power. She's a true savant. Like, it was interesting me learning the history of synth and how a lot of women were instrumental in, like, the origins of it. Like, it just was, like, fascinating to me. Oh, speaking of women, we do have that Doctor Who
Oh, yeah.
little blurb. This is the OG opening.
Oh yeah, and it's wild how much it's the same despite how different it is.
Yeah.
Do you think that sounds like a robot, Dave?
Do a bit less of this.
Maybe. I think we ought to add a little more talk because I think we'll lose intelligibility. Can you try it again?
Try that.
Minus plague, robust chest state. Minus plague, robust chest
Pretty well it, I think.
I think so.
robust chest state.
The Radiophonic Workshop was set up in 1958 to provide a service for radio and television, to provide special sounds ranging from science fiction to fantasy on the third program. When sounds are shaped
Why did they
and
zoom?
organized into patterns, the result tends to be musical.
Because they realized his body
If
wasn't moving and it was weird.
use tape machines and
Yeah, it was an AI
apparatus and
camera.
sounds
I'm gonna
of
read his mouth.
electronic origin. Someone is producing
Summers.
electronic
It's an AI
music.
camera. It follows
The
you
first
as you
stage
move.
in the realization of a piece of music is
Sorry, that's
to
me.
construct the individual sounds that we're going to use. To do this, we can, if we like, go to these sound generators here, electronic generators, and we'll listen to 3 of the basic electronic sounds. First, it's the simplest sound of all, which is a sine wave. It is here
Oh
on
my
the
God.
oscilloscope. It has a very simple form and has a very pure sound.
They're doing the thing!
Now listen to the same note, but with a different quality. This is a square wave.
I think this is an extended version that adds this part to it.
You see, it's very square on the picture, and it's perhaps rather harsh to listen to. This is because it has a lot of high harmonics, and that's what gives the corners on the picture. A more complex sound still is white noise. But those basic sounds aren't really interesting in their raw state like this. To make them of value
Yeah,
for
take that,
musical
sine
piece,
waves.
we have to shape them and mold them. But using all of these, we can build up any sound we can possibly imagine almost. We spend quite a lot of time trying to invent new sounds, sounds that don't exist already, sounds that can't be produced by musical instruments. But we don't always go to electronic sound generators for our basic
We can
sources
make any
of
sound we
sound.
imagine. Why,
If
tens
the
of
sound
them.
we want exists already in real life, say, we can go and record it. The sound I want for the rhythm of this piece needs to be a very short, dry, hollow wooden sound I can get from this.
I like essentially they
And then the sound for the punctuating chord.
harvested
I
the
want
use
the
of
sound of a
feedback
short wire string being plucked.
in electronics
Yeah.
and just said, but what if it was music? And we could really control it.
That's at the speed we recorded in the studio. We can get the lower sounds we need from the rhythm by slowing down the tape.
Yep.
And the higher sounds by speeding up the tape.
What's
These
interesting
particular
is,
pictures we can record on this machine
obviously,
here.
for us, it makes
And
sense
then all we
that
have to do is cut
what
the
you were
notes.
just doing digitally,
Mm-hmm.
they were just doing with physical tape.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We can join them together on a loop and listen to them.
Even just pulling WAV files for like audio clips
And then
stuff.
with the higher notes of the rhythm,
Digital tape.
again we join them together on a loop and play it in
Nixon's
synchronization
missing
with the
18
first
minutes
tape.
of it.
And over this we can play the sound of the plucked string, which can be either in the form of a loop like this.
It's so wild seeing the scale that they used to need to do this.
Or in the form
Yeah,
of a band on a tape.
like you know how you have all those tracks in your program?
Yeah.
Each of these is one of those tracks.
Yeah.
And also, literally, that's why we call them tracks. They're on tracks.
Yep.
That's just cool to see.
Wow. I mean, I'm only hearing it, but it seems great.
Of course, it's your phone.
I mean, you can hear the sine waves though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And by hearing them, you see them in your mind's eye.
Oh. It seems like it would make cool wiggly lines.
You know how sometimes you have to cut something and paste something? They literally had to do it.
It's like how people don't know what the save icon is referring
Yeah,
to.
they're
anymore.
like, oh, it looks like a
in which we
3D printed
synchronize
save
electronic
icon.
sounds with each other. But another technique is to combine a tape of electronic sounds with the playing of live musicians. In this music by John Baker, he's in the studio conducting the musicians in time with the electronic sounds which he is hearing on his headphones.
Cigarette, yeah.
Oh,
so
it's
this is
over.
interesting. This doesn't actually have the actual composition part. I think it's a different clip. Which
I think this is a different clip, yeah.
But that was really great introduction to like
Yeah.
the stuff. This one definitely is the one from it. I saw the second one. I thought it was an extended thing because it said how they made the Doctor Who sounds, but it's just literally how the fuck do you make these sounds?
Yeah,
This is one about how it's composed.
The 1985 one?
No, I sent you a link to it in the private chat.
Meanwhile,
Sure
let me
did.
read you more liner. And actually, I'm going to look to see if I have
Oh wait,
it.
is it the same one? Oh, sorry. No, it should be a different one.
Meanwhile,
No,
let me
it's a
read
different
to
one.
you some more liner notes from
No, how did I
one
get
of
to another
Carlos's.
video? It looks like the same URL. Oh no, I see the part that's different. It's on a playlist.
Oh, that's wild.
There you go. Oh,
At the same time that
Same
Ron
person, by the way.
and
Yeah.
then I was given his score.
So
You can hear it in her
Ron
voice.
actually wrote the tune on a piece of paper, single piece of paper, and then left us to it.
When I saw Ron Grainer's score, there were some swoops indicated, and I assumed those were sine waves.
The bass line that everybody thinks they know are actually made in two tracks within themselves.
I think he may have described as guitar plus I don't know, something like a bass bassoon or something.
We did a whole string of me, which when we played with the dun da dun dun da dun, I can't sing it, but they went together as a pair.
But then, apart from that, to fit in with the graphics, he used words like clouds and wind bubble.
But it's that sort of detail that people who create a Doctor Who signature tune by ear don't know that that's how it was done, or how Ron actually scored it, because the score has never left the building as far as I know. Don't ask me where it is, it's somewhere.
Clouds, obviously, one thinks of as filtered white noise. And wind bubble, I think we used the wobulator.
The wobulator!
What an amazing name! Do you have a wobulator?
I'm going to look up for a
There are
wobulator.
no musicians. There are
I
no
mean,
synthesizers.
it is
In
wibbly
those
wobbly.
days, we didn't even have a 2-track or a stereo tape machine. It was always mono.
It was constructed on, literally on quarter-inch mono tape, inch by inch by inch.
And literally, we built up the orchestra with individual notes, and Delia would say, I think we need about 64 B flats and 25 E's and B's and things like that, and we cut them all out physically.
What I'd like to say is that hardly anything of it was done in real time. It was done either at half speed or chopped together in little bits of tape. For example, the swoops at the beginning, that they were done on the old valve oscillators.
Now, most tunes have got a 3-part structure.
This
You've
is
got
so
a rhythm,
cool.
you've got a melody, and you've got the sort of twiddly bits on top. So we
The
created
twiddly
3
bits.
separate
The
tapes,
wombulator and the
put them
twiddly
onto
bits.
3 machines, and stood next to them and said, ready, steady, go, and pushed all the start buttons at once. It seemed to work. In those days, it was obvious.
seemed
if
to
you didn't
work.
know how to find out. You simply unrolled all the tape down the floor, walked along the sticky tape joins, and where 2 sticky tape joins weren't next to each other, that was the wrong note. So that was that. And we played it to Ron, yes, love it.
And then
it
just
became the
visually
thing
checking.
we grew to love.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like visually editing audio, you get to know the signs of certain things. I know what the sound of my breaths look like.
Oh,
my
yeah.
breaths, not the other thing, because of the sound wave. I'm looking. I haven't come across a wobulator yet, and I'm bummed. I need to find this. Although I'm just seeing a lot of really cool, just general synth like things that I haven't explored yet on here.
So I doubt it's in here, but I just grabbed some CDs I saw to see if I do have the Juan Carlos CD in here. So might as well. Let's take a look at some stuff that I got. I got some klezmer music. Think that some of these things I can tell are not mine. Overdello. Some unopened unopened Mozart music, which was sent to my aunt, and my aunt gave us.
Oh my word!
Yeah. Oh. I don't even know what this is. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but it has my Google Verdell CD in it.
Beautiful. All right.
But this has some stuff on it. I don't know what this is.
This might be the best sort of wobbly sound I got.
I worked with this person. This is someone I worked with.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's not. I mean, he gave it to me because this is his own CD.
Oh, cool.
But it looked like it was like an actual. I mean,
That
maybe
looks great.
you
Yeah.
could find it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Chris Dippolito. He was I think a guitar teacher that I worked with 10 years ago. Sorry, this has just become me showing you random CDs I have.
This was me going through my synth.
This is my favorite John Williams score.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That feels like a pretty hot take, but I don't know if it is.
Hey, let's hear it in the comments. I mean, people might say this one, but
I'm gonna have a controversial
You've shown a couple
pick.
CDs people might say are their
People might
favorite
say a
John
lot of-
Williams score.
a lot of those. Of course.
Oh, Mitch.
My controversial pick, the original Star Wars.
Wow. I
Hot
can't believe
take.
you had the courage
Then
to
episode
say
1
it.
then.
I mean, Duel of the Fates is a banger.
That is actually that could be probably the worst, definitely the worst Star Wars movie.
Is it still?
I think I still say that.
I as a humble phone would say Rise of Skywalker would be my call.
Yeah. Which one did you say was the worst?
Rise of Skywalker?
No, which one did Synth open?
Synth open, episode 1.
I get it.
But I will say George has successfully convinced me that the prequel trilogy is better than the sequel trilogy.
Wow! Oh, George has.
George has convinced me of that.
Interesting. I like 7
He
and 8,
argued it quite
9 shits to
vehemently.
that. Actually, 1, 2, and 3 are a more holistically cohesive trilogy
that's why.
than 7
And
and
that's
9.
why,
But
because
7 and 8 are better than 1, 2, or 3.
Yes. Yep. You followed the logic. The trilogy, prequel trilogy is better. Is better because it's a better trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Neither Attack of the Clones not Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, nor Return of the Jedi actively worked against the movie that just happened and said, "Fuck that noise."
It'd be very funny if George did that though. Just I changed my mind. I don't like that last one.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Never mind those two. The Emperor, it was just a MacGuffin.
Actually, Darth Vader was
this is
lying.
it's just twin brother. It's not Senator Palpatine. It's actually the person.
Yeah, Darth Sidious is actually just another guy.
Yeah.
My hot take is Episode 8 is my favorite Star Wars.
That's not that hot of a take.
Not anymore. It's a
my
decreasingly hot take.
I think it's number 2 for me. Number 1 is just the original.
My well, I feel like it's going to be a long time until I watch certainly a lot of Star Wars movies back to back to back, but because I did not do that when the George Lucas first did their marathon, but when we did the rewatches of them, I did watch along with all the movies. So as a result, it was like so two movies every Sunday for like 6
How many
weeks.
weeks it was?
I don't know if I've watched a
7
Star
weeks.
Wars since the 30-hour marathon.
and as a result of watching all of them, I am like, I don't know when I need to watch any of those movies ever again. But they definitely, I was like, I'm seeing things differently, and maybe now this is a hot take, but the last time I watched them was watching all of those, and my favorite got switched to one that people don't say as often, which is now Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
That
was
actually,
my favorite.
Yes, that was my favorite. It's my third. But it's simply because I just found The Last Jedi a beautiful film with messaging and potential.
Oh, yeah.
And just
And
like I loved it.
And I think watching them all and then being like, oh wow, this one's kind of the crux because it connects
Oh yeah.
all of them now. And as a result, I enjoyed it even more. Especially since, kind of canon, not canon. Rex is in Return of the Jedi.
It does
Yes,
turn
that's true.
Return of the Jedi to like the capstone of the whole saga.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it has the best space battles. You gotta pick the one with the best space battles. It's called Star Wars. It happens in the stars.
I will say, the only problem I have with it is that George ruined it because.
Oh yeah, she sure did.
Because it has, as bad as some of the changes are in New Hope, I think Jedi has the worst.
It does, I think.
I watched the despecialized editions. Yeah, both the songs they were replaced with are worse than what was in the original.
Yep.
Oh, I don't even think it's the songs.
I think it's the songs.
I think the Vader dialogue at the end of the Blu-ray edition is the worst change. Because when Vader looks between Palpatine and Luke and just goes, no. 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 As he throws the Emperor down the pit, he shouts, no.
And I will say, thank you, Dave Filoni, for fixing all of George Lucas's sins, because I hated the Hayden Christensen replacement, and now it only makes sense if it's Hayden Christensen. So, see, well, he's helped.
I love the despecialized editions. They're very good.
And I would say that is definitely. I mean, all of them I would love to watch. You know, in their original, their rough draft. I would like to like.
The rough drafts will be out there again eventually.
The show print version.
Yeah.
The roadshow version, something like that too. Yeah.
But I know the Alamo Draft House did a tour and showed the original versions.
Nice.
And yeah, we still have the VHS copies too. That One Last Time VHS copy.
Mm-hmm.
With Leonard Maltin. We also have the Leonard Maltin interview copies, which are fun.
I have the special edition ones where they do all of the interviews from that on there. I also have the one-off Walmart release of all of the three that have the original cuts on them, but they're not high quality, but they are the original cuts. It's very well.
The DVDs on like the bonus disc? Yeah, we have those too.
Mm-hmm. And I just got that because I just got that because that was just what I got for Christmas that year. I asked for, and that's when they were released. So it was just like, oh, here you go, boop boop.
I had already bought them on DVD, and then went out and bought them on DVD again to get the bonus disc.
Nice. And then do you have them on Blu-ray or?
No. I don't have a I had a PS4. That was my Blu-ray player, but at that point in time, I had like shifted over to digital, so I bought them on digital.
Yeah, I mean, I have despecialized edition now, so I'm Gucci. I got it.
I have Rogue One, The Force Awakens, and Last Jedi on Blu-ray.
Same.
But going back to what Phony said, is I think the absolute worst change of Jedi is the song in Jabba's.
You don't like seeing the Yasm's uvula?
It's just
okay. I do kind of love that song though. It is not as good. No, it's not as good. But when it's good. Ooh. Yeah, I had that memorized. I know I'm messing some of the syllables up, but it's that.
You're very close. That's Jedi Rocks.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, how can you get rid of Yum Nub?
Oh yeah.
How do you get rid of Yum Nub? And I do like
Yub Dub, right?
Oh, so, Yub Nub.
Nub.
Oh, Yub Nub. Okay.
Yub Nub.
Freedom. We want freedom.
And you know, I do like the rest of the galaxy celebrating, but just have it be Yum Nub.
Yeah.
Just have it be Yum Nub. You know?
Although now that I have my little toy, I kind of want to make synth versions of all the holiday special songs. That'd be real fun to do.
Well,
they will not be anywhere as grand as what
Grand
Bell Fisher. Yeah.
Studio 60's own.
I'll plod them along.
And I do think, I mean, I appreciate him doing more, but that first one he did with the Arthur song, like
Oh yeah.
that song, like that cover of it is like that's like the best Christmas song. It's his version of it.
And then he did Light This Night on. What was the second one he did? I cannot. That one for some reason is blanking in my head. Even the other night it was. Because when he's saying the Carrie Fisher one, I was like, I thought that was the last one that he did.
I thought so too.
Okay.
This minute?
Oh, I want to be this minute. That's
So yeah,
is that the one, the softcore porn song one that's
Probably.
sung by Diane Carroll?
I think so.
Yes. So he still has the Starship one to do, which
he hasn't
that's a
done the Starship
really
yet.
good one, too. Are those
And
the
he did
only songs?
this.
I mean, he could do an instrumental version of the music that goes with the bad Cirque du Soleil at the top.
Yeah, good night, goodbye. The Happy Life Day. I'm so glad we got that now, because that's the. I would love to go back in time and tell Carrie Fisher that, like 40 plus years later, someone will cover your song that you probably don't remember singing.
Yeah, just 45 years later.
There are a lot of parts of the Star Wars Holiday Special I unironically like, and there's a lot of parts that are so bad that it's funny, clearly. But like
Lumpy and Lumpy,
anything with Harvey Korman, you're just like, oh no.
That's also something that I only watched for the first time for when we did the George Lucas Talk Show rewatch, and I watched all of Star Wars. So I did, yeah. And then, of course,
because of riff tracks.
And then, of course, I listened to the House Get Made episode about it. So that's
with Eden Share.
I think I knew about Lumpy from the books first, and then realized, oh, that's Lumpy.
Yes,
that was
a very like flashback realization, because there was that like, isn't it just a storybook that is just about the family?
Yeah, there's lots of stuff about Chewbacca's family. I mean, I think Lumpy's probably in the Thrawn trilogy. At least as like a reference. Yeah, like referenced in Vision of the Future. All this stuff. Galactic Battlegrounds, he's in the in-game data bank. That might be where I first learned about Lumpy.
Wow. Who knew Lumpy got around so much?
Lumpy appears in the very grim New Jedi Order series, apparently.
Wow.
Lumpy, what are they doing to you?
Well, Moon killed your father, Lumpy. Yeah, exactly. I assume, but they're also in Legacy of the Force, so Lumpy comes back.
Remember that time they smashed a planet into Chewie?
Yeah. Somehow, Lumpy returned.
Beautiful.
There was the Wookiee storybook.
Hey, here's some more liner notes from. Wow. That planet was destroyed.
Yeah, by the Argyle.
Very fitting. Here's some more liner notes from Wendy Carlos's Beauty and the Beast. This is from, I believe, the track we were listening to, which is called Just Imaginings. And it says, how exciting that the computer-controlled digital synthesizer age has arrived. We can finally have our cake and eat it too. In the past, we had to choose between perfect tuning, a just intonation, or totally free modulations and equal step temperament. And most of us chose the latter. This composition is all perfectly tuned in a super just scale I call the harmonic scale, which continues past the fifth harmonic of just all the way to the prime 19th harmonic. But then, in 144 notes per octave sleight of hand, it modulates all over, including 2 circle of fifths, at the main climaxes to Section 1, Kaleidoscope, and 3, Dreams. Section 2, Chroma, combines polytonal clusters of super just chords with a busier foreground. This contrasts with the more upbeat first and Streams of Consciousness third sections, both etudes in contrast and surprise.
That's amazing. What the fuck did I just hear? What are harmonics again?
Harmonics. Okay, this is a good starting point. So harmonics is basically the overtone series. So if you take a note, and then you double it. No, I should do it this way. If you double it, I have to do it backwards. You're going to be up an octave from it. Okay. And if you do that again, then that's going to be an octave and a perfect fifth above it, or a perfect fifth above it. And then if you do it again, you're going to get into a perfect fourth. So if you look at the harmonic series, which I probably should have looked up. So something. So basically, when you get a starting pitch, you keep going up, you get these closer sounding tones that sound nice. So also if you take a string and you cut it in half, then you get a note and you get an octave above it. And then basically Pythagoras figured out that kind of these mathematical relationships create pleasing sounds. And here we go. That's exactly what I wanted. The harmonic series keeps going up like this, and you kind of discover more and more notes by going up there. So Wendy Carlos created was like, hey, I could do that and create what was 144 note.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 144 notes per octave scale. Because why not? There's literally no limitations, and it's only because of
it's basically a 12 note is what you have in between. I was just doing the counting for it, like between octaves. It's wild. Well, 13 if you include the top of the octave. So from 12 or 13 to 144. Yeah, that's like hidden notes. That's the hidden chord that David played that pleased the Lord.
And then I hope Emily is watching, because Emily is going to get most mad about all of this. So basically, if you do what Pythagoras did, you get a string and you cut it in half, and you're like, "Ooh, that sounds nice. That's an octave. It's an octave above it." If it's the 3/4 of the length of a string, that's how you get a perfect fifth. And then a perfect fourth is just the opposite. So it's 3/4 instead of 2/3. And then if you keep going up by a perfect fifth, so if you take how we already know about it, if you take like a C and you go to G and then you go to D and you go through it, and you do that 12 times to get back to your original note of C, it doesn't quite fit. It doesn't match. And when you get back to your starting pitch, it is very sus. You get back to that starting pitch, it's off by what we call the Pythagorean comma, which we call it that because that's what Pythagoras called it.
I could name it. It's up for me. Come on.
And so basically, that little discrepancy is why we need tuning systems, because it just isn't naturally perfect. Okay. And tuning systems develop out of trying to figure out what to do with this little extra bit that doesn't quite fit in our perfect music puzzle. And when you talk about well temperament, you've heard of the well-tempered clavier. Basically, Bach used that tuning system, and you would have what's called a wolf fifth. You would take an interval of a perfect fifth, exactly, that you would not that you would not end up using. You know, it's like because you want basically to take all that discrepancy in that one fifth, because you shouldn't play it because you're not, Bach's not writing 12 tone music. Although actually he did also write 12 tone music, but that's another story.
Oh, Bach.
Basically, if there's something in music, Bach did it first. But so you would, so as a result, every other interval would be a quote fine. And then
Did Bach use the wombulator?
You would just have
the twiddly bits.
You would just have that one part that's has all of that dissonance, and I forget how large the Pythagorean comma is.
Emily Pineapple asking, is this true in other cultures' musical scales too?
So not really, because this is really Western. So I couldn't talk to you about ragas and Indian music, but they've got like literally dozens of different tunings of different scales in their system.
Yeah, I'm assuming a lot of them developed culturally independent of each other, and then sort of all gathered together. Yeah.
So the Pythagorean comma, frequency. Oh, it's about 23.46 cents, roughly a quarter of a semitone. So basically, it's that just little tiny discrepancy, and so the wolf fifth would get all of that. It would get all 23.46 cents, which is percentages towards of hertz and frequencies. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I don't think so. So Well Temperament uses a system where it's just kind of where it's just kind of set on that 1/5, and but if you want to use all of the
that song.
Oh, I probably have heard it before, but I don't think it's got like the reeds, right? Like it's got like, it sounds like, it's interesting if it's what I think it is. It's interesting when you listen to like the oldest music we have, it sounds a lot like, well, what used to be the newest music, because it kind of sounds like synth music when you use like old primitive reeds to create great sounds. Oh no. Ooh.
I think the ad break is over, so I think you can give some of those answers.
Why is that so?
But yeah, you pointed out that this sounds kind of like you said the reeds. Let me try to find one on the reeds.
That's like dope.
Yeah, I think
it sounds like new age music.
I think the recording I heard of it was on more period appropriate instrumentation, so it sounds which sounds really cool. I like it. So back to tuning systems.
Apparently it's in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
What isn't?
Ooh.
What's my ad blocker skips this video? We'll all get to hear it. Oh, it's just the vocals.
Oh, what? Don't like the acapella version?
No.
I
don't want to hear the Pentatonics cover of the oldest song we have on.
Ooh, it's good. Phony laying down what I agree with.
Look, we're in the holiday season, so it's a big
so
time for not wanting to hear the Pentatonics.
Yeah. I love choirs. I don't like a cappella groups.
Oh, if it was rockapella, then I'd be good with it.
Well, rockapella is different.
Please tell me there's a rockapella.
Mostly just the one song.
I mean, I enjoy this. This is very
Yeah.
soothing. And actually, speaking of which, it sounds like it is pentatonic. I mean, no joke, which would make sense.
I'm gonna refill my water meter.
I'm disappointed we didn't then also get the Burger King King again. I gotta watch that video more.
We don't see it enough. So back to tuning systems.
I really wish I had a bumper for talking tuning systems.
Oh my god, please,
just for the future.
Please, I think Things for the Void could probably provide that for us. So you've got other. So basically, for hundreds of years, not maybe not thousands, but hundreds of years, musicians and as the culture, we've tried to overcome this tune sets. That is incredible. That's the name. Please make a bumper. I cannot wait to see whatever bumper gets made of that. Oh my god. Well, maybe this will help encourage you. So there's other tuning systems. So like there's things like mean tone temperament, where they makes the triads and justly tuned. So basically, again with Pythagoras and if you sit exactly at 2/3, it sounds really pleasing. And if you're a string instrument, you do that all the time. You always do justly intonation. But for tuning systems, for mean tone, you take the major thirds and you make those justly tuned, and then you just cut everything in half. So half of a major third is a major second, half of a major second is a minor second. So that's one way to do it. You just split up the Pythagorean comma. But eventually, the system we use now with equal temperament, which uses scientific math. Oh my god, I love the hurdy-gurdy. You basically just take this discrepancy, which we now know as being 23.46 cents. You just disperse that discrepancy through all of the notes. So all 12 pitches, 12 notes in the scale are adjusted to just be a little bit sharp or a little bit flat. And so, yes, it does. It uses 12th roots of the octave. And then basically you take that discrepancy over every single note. So as a result, and that's what everything is, basically everything's by default is equal temperament. So any keyboard you have, that's going to be that. And that's just how we think of notes in music, even though we shouldn't always think that. We should have some other varieties. So as a result, everything is out of tune. Everything is out of tune. It's just equally out of tune.
Everything is out of tune except for the nice, refreshing taste of Mountain Dew, which is very much in tune with today's youth. I know we're not in a category that's eligible, but I just had to do it.
Absolutely had to.
So that's my tune sense.
I love it and I hate it. We should make a synth sound that I can make a jingle for missed calls with. Blog, what chipset should we start, or sound wave I say we should start with?
I like triangle.
Okay. Triangle. Does that sound like now? Let's them just this. How much is the same?
I don't know what that means. I don't know.
I'm gonna turn up ever so slightly, since that's real low. That's how like loud it is.
I mean, that's basically true. Yeah.
All song people. Yeah, exactly.
They're all sine waves. Wake up, sheeple.
Oh my god! And then, of course, I've shared a bunch on Void's programming, but there's a whole bunch of, and on here I think as well. There's a whole bunch of people who do weird things, create interesting instruments out of anything essentially. That's also like I think of the Chipophone guy who also did the Commodore Commodore comma accordion. He made accordions out of Commodore 64s.
Oh my god,
There's
yes.
also the Furby organ.
Oh, of course. Yep. There's also a YouTube I discovered recently, which is Metallica.
Metallica?
Like Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Metallica. They do some interesting stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Little like toot flutes.
The Game Boy music is wild. All the chiptune stuff that's going on with that.
I somehow made this. It's the reed that we could use for the Greek tune.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. We I don't even know why it was brought up, but hurdy-gurdy's rock.
Phony, why don't you pick the next type of wave that we'll add?
I mean, you gotta use a sine wave.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about like digital versus analog. So people will say that like, like records are better because they're analog sound, but they're not really. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing. it's just reproducing points of a wave, and it's just nothing can really replicate actual sound that happens, Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I say that obviously I love vinyl because you do get a different sound with it, which is really cool, but it's not more analog or more authentic. I don't know. Yeah.
I was
you tell them, blog.
I was looking into the composition of the Dead or Alive hit "You Spin Me Right Round," which has been stuck in my head for a month and a half, and I'm okay with that. Because I keep listening to it, but it's my fault. And they were talking about, they put all of the instrumentations on floppy disks, and just like boodle boop, like all the instrument stuff with it. And they put, I'm like, oh my god, like the amount of like data that we have now with like the big, like as big of WAV files as we can get. And when they cut it down, there was like, floppy disk, a couple megabytes. That should be all that we need to produce this like enormous sound coming from your speakers.
I mean, the file, Blog's own music earlier would have fit on some floppies because it was only 3.83 megabytes.
Let's turn these up some. A little wobble to the second part.
I take it back. I don't believe they actually wouldn't have fit on any floppies because it looks like they maxed out at 2.8 megs.
I mean, there you go. I mean, MP3s can get into...
And I'm not talking jazz drive.
Some MP3s can get into a compressed state where they can fit on floppy, but they'd be like real short MP3s.
I can't believe this video is not coming up right away. Sure, it's a video that was on the internet like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to find. Does anyone else remember there would be like this? It was like Toccata and Fugue on a computer, on like an actual. It was the actual like computer itself.
Oh,
like
yeah,
like
I've seen
booting up.
There's one of "Sweet Dreams Are Made of These," and you know.
Oh yeah.
You know that I have listened to that one more than I should.
Yeah. It's awkward when you're like, I want to look up this video, this famous internet video, and I'm like, I can't find it anywhere.
Whoa. Whatever the one button does, it's intense.
Yeah, I cannot, at least not on YouTube, I cannot find this video that I'm just itching my brain. Huh. Either way, unrelated, but back to what we were saying, hurdy-gurdies are awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out how I save this, because I want to save the sound. But I have never tried it before on this darn machine.
Is this video by Device Orchestra what you were thinking of?
No, but it does. It gets the job done.
That's not the one that I was thinking either. Oh, I have a great video I'm going to send you that is very much on theme with what we've been doing.
I'm not surprised that you love this channel, boy. It seems right up your alley.
Applause.
I like that they were giving them all names. Yeah. Oh, the mysterious question.
Knocky Toasty. Toaster.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. I love the irons.
This is another of those that really makes me aware that music is math.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to go online. I want to make a bank of all of the specific synth sounds from different songs that I know, just so I can use that specific sound and just, do whatever nuts I want to with it.
Whoa.
I do know what one BPR is talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. But I'm not a Tumblr person, as we established earlier.
You missed out.
The cinnamon bread that my grandma gives me every year for my birthday. I missed nothing. Okay.
It's interesting. So I have, if you go on the Blogtoven Tumblr page, you can go back to 13 years ago to seeing all of those Wendy Carlos posts.
You know that I will be later.
Oh man, and
Tumblr was a mistake.
What a combination of my interest is. Of course, this is from a YouTube video that's no longer there, but it just lists the opening scene from Stanley Kubrick's film The Shining, featuring music by Wendy Carlos and Rachel Alkine that incorporates Hector Berlioz's version of the Dies Irae. Although it wasn't really his version of it. I think it was just the Dies Irae in general. I think I was wrong. I think 13 years ago me was wrong. Because it's just Dies Irae. I don't know how you could say that's specifically that Dies Irae. Tumblr was a mistake.
I like that we're getting the real duality here from I loved Tumblr to we should have never made it past Zynga.
Yeah.
And now you sent me this Electronicos Fantasticos.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I want an instrument like this so bad.
Oh, thank you for the watch streak, King Klon. You're on a 5-stream watch streak.
Hell yeah.
What? That's better than the Mountain Dew.
Oh, the woman playing the fax machine? Or printer.
And yeah, Void's 1 stream away from 15.
Oh, wow.
I was listening to the regular version of this in the shower before I got ready for tonight.
I love the fans.
Yeah, it's the guitar. It's so sick. That guy just bopping in the background. Completion. I can turn away no more. This is a 7-minute One Piece, so you can jump over to the next clip too. I was saying, I love that whole thing, but I'm not going to subject you all to it.
So I can't find. It's interesting because I'm on my my Blogtober Google and not my regular Google, and I cannot find Metallica this Facebook this YouTube page that I follow normally, but it's so much inclined to give me Metallica instead that I can't find them.
So this is all with barcode scanners?
Yep.
Oh, and they skateboard? Oh, okay, yeah, you got it.
Is that a body rock voice chip?
Yeah. Oh my god, the scanners are on the bottom of the skateboards too? Whoa! Yeah, and the barcodes are all over the ramps and stuff, so they're wow.
I remember seeing a couple of artists use walkie-talkies and feedback, so they were just kind of doing that, you know.
I remembered something we were supposed to look up earlier, and I didn't, so I will get that for you, Pony.
Uh-oh.
Again, I'm so curious to get your thoughts specifically, Bogtoba, on this. And I hope it starts from the top. There's a little bit you can cut it into, because the very top is like, it's like a filmed version of a performance art piece. And so there's like a little bit of intro where it's kind of slow, but once you see the hand starting to play the organ chords, that's where you can get in.
Oh my god! I finally found the right page.
This was filmed, or this was commissioned by the Walker Art Center, which is the Minneapolis Art Center, and they did a lot of stuff with modern dance and modern composing. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was Marcel someone, who was John Cage's partner, John Cage of 4 Minutes and 36 Seconds fame, who did a lot of minimalist composing music on the onset of that era. They made pieces together, and so a lot of that was also filmed for the Walker Art Center. We went there, happened to go one time when they had a entire display of his costumes and stuff.
Wow, I thought that was 28 minutes long.
Yeah, no, we don't have time for all. Again, we'll see how far. The challenge is how far you will make it in through this.
I mean,
it is a very specific.
This is a
type
tough
of piece.
crowd to think will bounce.
I don't know how Fluval will think if we interrupt trivia time.
Oh, Fluval will probably come in before that and make his feelings known.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Phony also has control of how long this goes. I don't think it will take until the end of what we're doing.
I feel like, well, again, I don't know this particular piece of work, but I have endured a lot. I feel like I could watch this whole thing without any problems.
No, I think this is why I want you to see it, because I think you and I will be on the same wavelength. But it might try others' patience. This was featured on a Red Letter Media video. They got sent this, like a VHS copy of this.
Oh, wow.
It was on one of the best of the worst.
See,
they
them,
inserted, go ahead.
I'm gonna say them. I have a harder time watching than this. I'd imagine.
I don't watch any of their review stuff. I've said this before. I just watch the best of the worst.
That's all how I know of them, and we've talked about this on here before, but they rub me the wrong way. I very much like.
Someone said it. They're very much people who don't like movies. For people who talk about movies.
That sounds pretty accurate. Yeah. And I've thought it before. Introduction think it's stuff. I don't like that. I don't like it. This I like. This is good.
I was just turning it down so we could hear the dialogue over, just to be clear. I wasn't. That wasn't me opting out.
It wasn't commentary.
No. But yeah, I feel similarly about the Plinkett stuff. Stars.
This was where Alex, my roommate, checked out. Like, nope.
This early.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm fine with all of this.
Yeah, so far I'm fine with it.
I could list a bunch of things it's reminding me of, and then we could listen. Then we have hours of stuff to watch. This is like we also did hear we also did play the worst track, which we all, at least me and Missy, agree is the track.
This is very much the thing.
That, right?
Possibly. Okay. Would it be on theme for us to look through possibly in Michigan? How long is possibly in Michigan? Right? Oh, I think it's in action now.
This is very Calex. I'm kind of surprised this hasn't been played on UC Berkeley College radio. It probably has.
Oh man. So in college, as mentioned before on here, so I did a classical music show for our student-run radio station. And what I don't think I mentioned before is we had one of our DJs was a local. Unfortunately, he has since passed, but he looks much older than he was. He looks very old, but he was Cosmic Ray, and he hosted a avant-garde show for like 4 hours every like Friday and Saturday night from like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. He would do avant-garde music.
See, my husband's a wimp.
I mean, I could watch.
He played me the entirety of the "Come" song, and he couldn't make it through 5 minutes of this.
I don't even know what that is.
Don't. Oh.
Yeah, perhaps Phony's Calyx friend sometimes plays electronic music on their women's and LGBTQ show, like Wendy Carlos. We talked a lot about Wendy Carlos earlier, if you missed it. King Clown says, KJHK, your sound alternative. The one they did in college. But they did a soul music jazz show. Oh, they had just started DJing at WORT Wart.
King Clown is the only other person who knows Des Moines. I used to DJ for Star 102.5. I'd want to be the one in the turtleneck, but I'm the one in that dress. But yeah, a lot of our work.
Expansive backdrop.
Cut to.
Oh, so is one BBBR.
Oh, yay! It's the someone could have claimed the turtle, but y'all started calling it your shots too early. But yeah, a lot of her music theory stuff has to do with like vocal tones and not like necessarily anything that has to do with like to do with the music. It just is like what you can make with your voice.
If a phone appears, I'm gonna be embarrassed.
So it's a shame that we don't have time for anything else since we're gonna watch this whole video right now. But I cannot believe. Well, I guess I can believe, but I decided to look up Cosmic Ray. I found a YouTube video featuring him from my time there at Penn State. So I doubt I make any sort of appearance or anything, but just being like exactly seeing just things the exact same way as bring me back there.
I was sent possibly in Michigan by Thing.
That's really cool, King Von. It's kind of that.
Hello, it's Jazz in the Morning! KJAK, your sound alternative.
I like that we both had the same instinct on what to do to that with that comment.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that voice.
Yeah.
But I mean just that it's like, oh, we're reading about an obnoxious radio voice. I guess I have to do it.
Oh yeah. it's like echolalia, except with text.
love this.
Didn't expect this swerve.
I didn't expect we'd get this far. I thought we would have ended at the turtle. Everyone's digging it too much.
Playing avant-garde audio chicken with me and Blocktoven isn't always the best call. Or isn't the best call, because this is really good.
Who's making that? Oh, it's a different cut. Okay.
This is giving me built
non-linear
vibes.
storytelling.
Milton Babbitt, probably one of the only people who didn't maybe it started, but taught math at Princeton, and then his wife taught music composition at Juilliard.
Wow.
Wait, playing an entire album is against the rules of the FCC?
Well, you also have to do you have to do an ad break top of the hour, so I guess that would also
Oh, because okay. Yeah, if it's anything that. But also, yeah. I do want to get to one of the clips that Blog said. I don't want this to hoard the rest of the time here. But yes, Turtle Dreams on YouTube. If you are really into this,
I could watch this whole thing. I could easily watch that whole thing.
If I think I didn't intervene right there, we might have.
Because it's your birthday, I'll stop playing it.
Thanks.
For
Happy
you.
birthday, me. Blog, play a clip from him.
No, I think that's fair. It was really good. I'll post the link in the chat so people can check it out.
Anyone who isn't watching the show is gonna click it and be like, "What the hell happened?" Oh,
that
it's
was
in the
really
chat.
cool.
Chat. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, no, I thought some people would like it.
Did we want to play Cosmic Ray or possibly in Michigan?
That's up to Misty.
Things. How long is possibly in Michigan?
It's 11 minutes.
Play that Cosmic Ray.
We don't have to play all of it either.
Play Cosmic Ray first.
Okay.
Make it so.
Tommy, been doing a radio show on Penn State Student Station for about 30 years now. Okay, we're here to pick up Ray. Oh, here he is. Here, let me help you out here, Ray.
That's Ray.
Oh,
Hey,
cool.
We have our own Cosmic Ray. He's called Bob Dorr.
We had Cosmic Ray. We also had the Willard creature, who would
Enough what?
be outside of the Willard building, you know, saying how everyone's
don't
going to
worry
hell.
about it for us. You just take care of yourself.
And that's the hub. Flashbacks, man. That's the hub. That's the radio station.
Good morning, evening, whatever, and welcome to Avant-Garde here on the Lion 90.7 FM. And I'm sure
This
most
theme
of you know
already.
I'm Cosmic Ray,
That
Cosmic
beautiful
Joker.
crunchy synth.
And believe it or not, some people are filming me doing the show, and I'll play some live improv. I mean, me actually playing bass guitar.
Oh,
and
that kind of improv?
keyboards after 1:30.
All right, I need a suggestion from the audience.
uh,
Yes, hey, and boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Just
boom,
get
boom,
into
boom,
the
boom.
music, but I will say I do
I remember
need
one
to
time
find some
he,
people to
when I was in the studio with him. He
visit the
played
station, literally babysit
a
because
track
I have
where
no
it
budget for
was
episodes
literally the sounds
while
of a
I'm
woman
doing the
orgasming.
show. The
And I'm like, I don't know if this. I don't know if this is
That feels like probably an
Oh,
FCC
it was that Donna Summer song.
assess the situation as to whether.
Wow, that's a reference for not you boys. There's a very famous Donna Summer song where she basically makes sex moans, and people on the radio are like, "Oh, on our station."
I mean,
a woman
maybe
is
that one.
horny.
That's my big question. How do you define
There you go.
avant-garde music?
Well, I would say that there's a.
Are those
spectrum
dreads?
Between
Yes.
mainstream.
So he
Holy
had
shit.
these,
a lot of things
these long,
that aren't
like a single dread, because
really
as you see it, it's based on
brand
horizontal
new or
dread,
avant-garde.
and he
Perhaps I
actually
should
looks
define
more
avant-garde.
kept
Avant-garde
together than he usually
is-
would, because
Well, it
you
comes
can still
from
kind of
a
see he would
French
also have a
military
giant
term,
staff
believe
of
it or
dread
not.
out of his beard.
And the term refers to the advanced troops that
All
go
right.
out before the
When
main,
Phony gets
the
a
rest
second,
of the army
I think we gotta
gets
do
there
that thing in
for a-
Michigan. Oh, possibly in Michigan, starting at blah 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 blah, 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Another, just all this radio talk reminds me of another fun radio rule is, you can't have dead air. But sometimes if you play classical music, it's really quiet, and so it's not dead air, but all of a sudden the alarm, there's dead air, goes off.
How do I meet the strangest men? They always seem to find me.
Hell yeah!
Remember that time way back when I kissed a guy who ate his women friends? Now only dogs will follow me. Is he following? I bite at the hand that feeds me, slap at the face that eats me. Some kind of animal cannibal made impressions on me. Have we met before? Possibly in Michigan,
Hey!
in some strange department store.
She's
This
the
is-
female French Schneider!
It's Flueball.
It is. It's me, Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire.
Are you writing a synth wave or a sonic wave through the multiverse?
I'm
We
riding
were summoned by this
Fluve
synth.
wave.
Yeah, the Fluve wave was
What shape is the
activated.
Fluve wave? Is it shaped like a fish?
Sometime.
It's Fluval shaped. It's me shaped.
Yes. It's
That sounds
what that
good.
one lady in the previous song was doing.
Yeah.
The combination of her, what she was doing with her arms and the turtleneck. It summoned us. It summoned us. It creates a multi-dimensional wave. That's what the Fluve wave sounds like.
I knew Turtle Dreams was going to open up the multiverse again.
Yes.
And if you want to send in, make a Fluve wave in your sound editing software and send it in, definitely do.
I will attempt it.
Please do.
After long for that sexual
But I'm
scent
so excited to be here tonight.
Sorry, I heard them talking about human fornication, and it was like, no.
Terms of service.
Oh, that's
we love
no. It's because I think it's disgusting because it's a third dimensional habit.
The space
I've heard
lady.
of turtle dreams, but fluval dreams?
Oh, it's more likely than you think. It's more
Well, and
likely than
then I
you
think
think.
you already decided on your topic for next week.
Yes.
Barry versus Lyndon.
That's right.
Yep.
Next week on Missed
Johnson.
Calls, it's Barry v. Lyndon.
Yes. Linden trees, berry fruits,
I'm going to
Barry
unplug my sentence. I don't know if
Bonds.
this is going to crash anything.
berry
good.
We're good.
Bostwick,
Barry Bostwick from that movie we can say the name of now.
HBO's Barry.
'Cause
Yes.
the
Oh my
strike's
god.
over.
You
Barry
ruined this. You
Hater.
spoiled. We could talk about it. We didn't have a bumper or
Friends.
anything.
How's
Dear,
the My Tune Sense bumper coming along?
We don't
Any
have it yet.
progress on that?
It was a protest.
It was
remember?
protested because of the limiting nature of musical scales.
Yes, that's true.
But you know what else is limiting?
What?
Trivia.
Trivia!
Because you can
And
only
we're
get one
so-
right answer.
Yes, and we are so ridiculously excited for 2 nights harvestation of all of your suffering.
Yes.
That's why. Because our network, that's right, has acquired for us. That's right. A guest
A guest
star!
Star. Another credit for the IMDb, baby.
A guest star guaranteed to just get us the best interdimensional ratings that exist, which we already get because Fluval always gets the best ratings.
I
Fluval,
bring
you
it
always
in
do.
the big
But
Fluve bucks.
We're bringing in a big co-star. That's right. This week's trivia is in honor of and sponsored by our very own cosmic being, Missy Information.
Yes. So you'll want to be
Yay.
sure to stay tuned.
You will not be bored with these games. It's
Yes.
about board games.
We got board game trivia, so stay tuned right here. We will make our way to trivia now.
We will. And